Let's get started. How to increase revenue and boost your customer experience using chatbots. That's the one we're going to talk about today. And to introduce you and to make sure that there's not a bot talking and it's a real human being who's talking with you, this is Anand. I'm a senior consultant with Freshworks. And typically in my capacity, I help all our customers realize their value in AI and automation. I've been associated with a couple of companies earlier, most of them tech companies, and we dealt with lots of customers in enterprise telecom, retail, BFSI, public sector, etc. And I'll also introduce you to our second speaker. This is Shubham. So Shubham leads our efforts from implementation perspective for bots and Freshworks. With an abundant amount of experience in bots, he was also one of the founding members of the team Johukum, which we acquired from Freshworks. And I'll ask Shubham to introduce himself.
Hi guys, thanks for joining the webinar. I've worked with a wide range of customers across the different sectors, including e-commerce, financial services, education, and entertainment industries. Currently, I'm supporting current customers and potential customers to deliver a great customer journey using the technology. And of course, chatbots is one of those interesting technologies. We'll talk to you more about this. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Shubham. All right, guys. Now, what do you want to expect from this webinar? The first thing is about, there are a lot of talk about chatbots, AI, automation everywhere. Right. So many of the businesses, most of you would have implemented chatbots. For most of you, I don't know if you have used a chatbot. There are a lot of different sectors and groups we've been talking about. But today in this 45 minutes webinar, and we're going to talk about chatbots, deep dive into them, use cases, what's the best practices we have done, what is best for your business, and then move on to give you an idea from how this is going to reflect from a business perspective, tangible benefits of chatbots, and then we're going to give you a quick live demo of some of the implementations that we've did. And finally, with all those things, how do you effectively utilize chatbots, right? So very important segment to every business, key performance indicators, the KPIs, how do you measure them? So that's what we're going to cover today. And absolutely, you can fire out all your questions using the Q&A section. And then the last 15 minutes, we'll be going through all your questions. We'll try to cover up as much as we can. If the time doesn't permit, we'll take all your questions offline and we'll get back to you via email. All right. I'm going to start off this session by throwing you some of the quick stats. This is from one of the surveys, banking, e-commerce, and retail survey, which was done. So this is about whenever we touch upon 2020, we're going to use chatbots in at least one or more than one walks of life. Right, so chatbots will be involved in 85% of the customer business and customer interactions. That's what the research confirms. A lot of interesting stats which we put together for you just to increase the intensity of how the business value is going to be around chatbots. So another fact or the prediction which is coming up with which IDC came up with, from the global impact of AI. We're going to have 1.1 trillion in business revenues by the year 2021. And the prediction rate of the chatbots in the industry is going to be around 25% by 2019 itself. Right, so, but what are chatbots? And chatbots, how have we looked at chatbots? A fantastic thing about it is what chatbots can do is it will engage people in a human conversation. Instead of a human doing a conversation, the chatbot will feel like this is the response which I can give you. And they're generally hosted on a messaging platform. Probably it can be your website, probably it can be your Facebook, probably it can be any other messaging platforms in the world. And sometimes, there's AI-backed chatbots which can answer, most of the questions. Let me ask you a quick question. One is about, have you interacted with the chatbot? I will quickly switch on a poll so that you can answer. Have you implemented chatbots? Have you, interacted with the chatbot? You can use the voting options. I believe there's a lot of voting, and the voting is going to close another 10 seconds. That's, by the looks of it, there's been a lot of us who have implemented chatbots or considering implementation in the near future as well. All right. So I'll give you another 5 more seconds for those of you who want to vote. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So I see a lot of people who have voted for yes, I've implemented chatbots, or it can also be have you interacted with the chatbot. And there are a lot of people who wanted to consider implementation in the near future as well. So the next thing is about, let me tell you, since most of you have used chatbots, is the hype around the chatbots justified? We'll take a step back. Let's go to the year 2010 when Apple introduced Siri. It was the biggest thing which happened in the mobile platform after iPhones and things like that. So when we were able to speak to Siri and Siri was able to give us certain answers, and then we moved on. Watson came into picture in 2011. IBM introduced this great big thing, which is IBM's Watson, and they clearly taken the side from how IBM Watson can be used in the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and then they moved on to different walks of life as well. Then Samsung piloted with a version of Bixby, or the Samsung Voice, that appeared in 2012. And then we come across Alexa in 2014 and Google Assistant in 2016. So which is almost all these platforms are some things which we use in our daily life. Most of you who use an iPhone has a Siri, Android users has a Google Assistant, and most of us have Alexas at home. It's 2019 now, and there's still a lot of research going on around chatbots and how they can make it better, how it can humanly hold a conversation, right? So I personally feel, chatbots is still the key trend in communication technologies because it saves a lot of time and money for us. It saves, it's instant, it's quick, and all those things, right? So most of us have looked at something like this. This is what we call as a Gartner hype cycle. So what we essentially, what this graph essentially tells you is, you might be familiar with this graph, most of us, but let me just refresh your memory as well. So whenever there's a new technology or a software or any trend which is picking up, it starts with a technology trigger. And then it goes to a peak of inflated expectations, right? So whenever there's a new technology, and we expect a lot of things that technology took over. And then suddenly it goes down a trough of illusionment. And then it goes for, slope of enlightenment and the plateau of productivity as well. So by where we are in chatbots is we have already scaled the peak of expectations. We also crossed the trough of disillusionment. And now we are in the slope of enlightenment. The reason I'm saying this is chatbots going to take away a lot of mundane tasks. It is not going to replace any jobs per se today, but it is going to replace the mundane tasks, the automated repetitive tasks which the human workers are doing. Why I'm saying this is, let's go back in time a little bit and think about the time when ATMs were really a thing, right? So when ATMs were introduced, people thought a lot of the bank tellers will go out of jobs. But that's not how it's panned out. There are tellers today. There are people who are doing the mundane job of it. They were repurposed into doing much what they are capable of. Humans are really doing capable of doing creative things, and that's what we can do. And a lot of the mundane stuff the machines can take over. So come 2020, chatbots are expected to become a part of everyday life to answer every question. Most of the businesses will use it. So I believe, the earlier question, the hype is justified for chatbots today. And then, so this is what it is from an operational perspective. What can chatbots do, or what do chatbots do? I've broken down this into three key aspects, right? One is leveraging automations for all our businesses, because our business has a lot of different softwares which are being used. We can use chatbots and leverage the automation capability of those. And we can proactively engage with all our customers. We'll be exceeding expectations if we do that, right? So if we do uh, leverage all the automation capabilities, and we try to proactively probe the customer and be friendly with the customer, they're going to like it, and we're going to exceed the customer's expectations. Right. Over the next few slides, we're going to discuss how that's done and why they're so popular today. So somebody walks in, a customer, and you think of 3 or 4 different things. That's this is what my chatbot has to do, right? So today customers prefer messaging or other modes of communication. So none of us like to speak to an agent who's sitting on the other side of that. He doesn't have most of the information, and sometimes we might be in a hurry. We might not know, this might not be our priority, but we still want to communicate with the business. We just drop a message, we just drop an email. And emails are so out of date today. So a lot of messaging platforms like WhatsApp has taken over. Messaging platforms like Facebook Messenger has taken over the modes of communication, and that's where we have to be relevant as a business, right? So whenever there are instances that these things are coming up, and we have to apply ourselves as chatbots into all these different platforms, and we have to engage with the customer. So, but how does chatbot actually improve the CX? That's another question, right? So when I say about how our experience has to be, I've taken up a similar case, which is very generic in our situation today. We as a business have a lot of different. So our core business will be, retail, a pharmaceutical business, or any sort of software industry as such, or a technology provider. We have our own business, and there's another part where the customers come and speak to us. So how do they talk to us? If you look at towards the left hand side of my screen, you have messaging apps like chat and WhatsApp and so on and so forth I mentioned, and then there's a bot. And then the bots, if we combine both, the bots can help you answer all your customer queries. When the customer comes to you with a query, it need not be a very fresh query. Not if you take an 80-20 rule, so 80% of the questions are always repetitive. So if you take one of the examples, or let's take most of us, right? So in our day-to-day life, we use Amazon, we use Make My Trip, Yatras, and different websites. We never had the patience to go to the frequently asked questions section to run through any of those questions. But if you think that chatbots can be there, whatever is the question, type in, the bot is going to answer, and you're happy. And that's the kind of experience that we wanted to provide to a customer. So when you see on the center of my screen, I have a customer engagement. That's the place when the customer is going to speak to you as a business. That's the place what chatbot is going to be there, give you the wow experience there. And then in turn, it will replicate that this is the customer experience that they wanted to experience. So this is the customer, this is the best way that this business can provide me. They're providing me with a 24/7. Chatbots are always 24/7, unlike us humans or anything like that. And before we take a look at how chatbots can help business exceed the customer experience, I'm going to ask a question. Have you implemented chatbots for your business? And the next question is about the benefits of the chatbots, right? So when I said about have you implemented chatbots for our businesses, I got the answer about yes. Most of us said yes. This is how the chatbots are going to be implemented in our businesses. And now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Shubham, who will cover the different types of chatbots and how they're going to help us. Shubham, please take on.
Thanks, Anand, for the wonderful explanation on what bots are and where are we on bots today with respect to the industries. We'll be discussing from here that how exactly the bot can be implemented in your business and what are the different type of bots we have. So in the screen in front of you guys, we have 2 type of chatbots. So we have divided it in two types. One is the decision flow based bot, other is the NLP based bot. So when we say decision flow based bot, there is a conception in mind that the decision flow based bot is a static bot. We need to predefine everything. That conception is not correct. So it is a controlled bot where user will be given the options to select from, and there are certain rules which are defined, and then desired output will be given. But these options that we present to the customer or to the end user will be different, will be dynamic, could be with respect to the customer's previous transactions, could be with respect to the customer journey. So it will be dynamic, and those dynamic information can even be fetched from your system, integrating with your system, right? Other part is the NLP based bot, where we don't necessarily give the closed or controlled input where user can select from one of the options, but we give open text where user can come and type the query, and bot will try to understand what user is typing and detect the intent from that, and will give the recommendations, right? For example, if customer is coming and asking a question that what are the cash on delivery charges, if I take example of e-commerce, customer is asking and saying what are the COD charges, bot will try to get the intent that hey, the customer is trying to understand the COD charges, and bot will give the recommendation. Now this recommendation will be uh, from your knowledge base or solution articles or the previous information that bot is having. And we also believe in the learning, so bot has to learn, right? And we believe in the supervised learning. So what this supervised learning essentially does is that if say bot is not able to answer something correctly, user will able to give the feedback, and basis the feedback, bot will able to learn. But this is in a controlled fashion, so that no one comes and start abusing the bot, even if it's a correct answer, so that no one come and give a wrong feedback. So these are two type of bot. We'll deep down deeper to understand how we can implement what are the different use cases where we can implement these bots. I'm sure we have discussed two bots. One is a control input and NLP based bot. We all have a question which is better. So here we, we don't have something like which is
I will just pass you there, Shubham, just a quick thing. So I believe we just need to push your audio up a little bit. I think people are not able to hear you clearly. Um, yeah, just up your audio a little bit. That should be all. And I'll also let you answer as an expert which is the chatbot which is better for any of the businesses. There's a lot of with all your experience, you could let us know. You would have seen a lot of different things in your experience with a lot of different customers. So let us know, decision flow or NLP.
so Anand, I would say here that no, we can't say that something is better than other. It typically depends on what is our business use case, what we want to implement. But what we have seen from our trend with other customers is that what we want to achieve is to take to the customer to end goal, that is giving giving an experience where customer will get the resolution. It should serve the purpose for which customer has come to the bot or to the business.
Mm-hmm.
So bot should not round around the bushes saying that hey, let me help you with something, and if customer come and say hey, can you help me fly a kite, and I understand that as a business you are not meant to answer these questions. So we can implement decision flow based bot or NLP based bot depending on the use cases.
All right, fantastic. So you tell the user via the chatbot, these are the things as a business that I offer, and that's what you mean by decision flows. And NLP is just an open text or a natural language which the user can type. Is my understanding right?
Yes, Anand, that's your right understanding. Fantastic. So even a deeper example of this could be if you come to e-commerce website and bot will ask you, hey, I see that you have placed an order. What would you like to do? And bot will present three options. I want to cancel my order. I want to return my order. I want to modify my order.
Fantastic.
So this is a decision flow based bot.
Fantastic.
On the contrary, bot could just ask, hey, how can I help you? And it will give open text where the user can come and type anything.
Absolutely.
If it is within the limits of the bot, which bot could answer, bot will answer that, and we all will have a fallback. Right? So what will be the fallback? It will transfer to the agent. We'll discuss that in detail in our coming slides.
Thank you so much. That was a question from the user. That's why I wanted to make sure that it is very clear. Thank you so much, and please go ahead.
Sure. So guys, we have now how do your business use the chatbots. We have two type of chatbots, or I'll say chatbot can be used not only by the end customers as a customer assistance bot that we have been discussing so far. The bot can be used by the agents as well. This will empower your agents whenever they get call or chat from the customer other than the medium, other than the chatbot medium. Right, so this will actually help the agents to solve the queries quicker and in better way, right?
Yeah, fantastic. Can you show us all this, what you've been talking about, Shiv?
Absolutely. So is we have so I'll go back to the previous slide. So we have discussed decision flow based bot, we have discussed NLP based bots, and now we have discussed agent assist bot. So I'll take three examples from all these three different use cases. What is decision flow based bot, what is the NLP based bot, and what is the agent assist bot, and how that exactly works.
Fantastic.
First up, what I'll show you is the NLP based bot. The screen in front of me is our on support portal, where on right hand side I have a chat bot or chat widget. So it greets me, it's asking me what's your name. I'll say people call me Shivam. Now bot is intelligent enough to understand from this sentence that out of this people call me Shubham. Shubham is actually my name. If you see, bot is addressing me by my name and asking, can I have your email address, please? So this email address is asked to personalize the chat experience based on my email address, based on my company, if I am from Freshworks or if I am from some other company. Bot can identify and give the relevant responses. Now bot is asking me, do you have, let me know your question. So I have some, we have a Facebook integration process in our bots. I want to know about Facebook integration. Now bot will go and look at the knowledge base, solution articles, corpus of the base, and try to understand what the query is about and will give the response. Now here bot has picked up three recommendations, top three recommendations that might be helpful for me. So it is integrating a Facebook page or creating a brand campaign or this. Now this might or might not be helpful to me. I say this is helpful to me, and bot will say, hey, I'm super happy to help you. Do you have some other question? Now it will not always the case. I can ask something random and bot might not know this. Bot will say that, hey, I couldn't get it, maybe if you want to retry. So here bot can present different options. One is try again. I can rephrase the query, create a ticket. Creating a ticket means it will create a ticket in Freshdesk, where the agent will get back to you via offline medium, via email, or I can connect to the agent. Agent could be sitting on the live chat platform, that is Fresh Chat, and the chat will be connected in the real time.
Yeah. Shubham, I have just one question which if you can answer. So there was a lot of my customers who were asking me whatever you just showed me. Can I change all these questions? Should I feed in all this information one by one? Do you think that is the case? Should I look for all the answers what my customer will be expecting and then feed each and every question? Or is there a knowledge base of sorts where I can put in all the information and then the bot can read through it automatically?
Yes, and while you are implementing this bot, you would know that what are your 80%, as you mentioned earlier. There is always 80-20 rule. You would know that what are the frequently asked questions that your customers will reach out to, right? So you can put them in a knowledge base corpus, that is the Freshdesk. You can use the Freshdesk knowledge base management system and put all those questions that, and we have deep integration with the bot with that knowledge base. So we need not feed or train the bot for each and every question. So bot will take leverage of that knowledge base to answer those questions.
So it's not just keywords, right? So I can type it in different ways and the bot can also.
Yes, you can type it in different ways. You can type in different language. It's not only the keyword. Even if you type, say, if you have realized here, we have seen the Facebook integration, but even bot is recommending you integrating with the Facebook page. So there are certain technologies or verbs we use to identify what is the intent
of
the question.
Thank you.
So guys, we have seen here the NLP based bot. Let's move to the other bot, that is the decision flow based bot. So I'll take example of one of our customers who have implemented this decision flow based bot.
It's just Wednesday and you're pushing all the customers to book movies today.
Yeah. So guys, what we have here is the decision flow based bot. So one quick thing to notice here is bot is giving us the options to select from, not the open input or open text, right? Here, as a business, I want user to select one of these options, or I want to promote one of my recommendations that what I want to do. So here I have these options, but I want to book a ticket. So this is, we call it a guided flow or a decision flow based bot. And as we discussed earlier, if I'm doing it for, I want to look for movie. Now, as we discussed earlier, that is this information necessarily be hard coded? Is this a static information? Do I need to feed every information to the bot? The answer is no. The bot can interact with your system. Bot can see what all the updated information I want to give. If you see here, this is about booking a movie, and movie booking or movies change every week or every day. So we need not feed bot every time. We can interact with your system. We can integrate with your servers to fetch this information. Now bot is fetching this information in the real time by interacting with you as APIs, right? If I click on book now, bot will now understand that I want to book this particular movie, and this is available for these 2 days. And further, which cinema I want to go to. Now I have selected Chennai, so bot will show me options only in Chennai, and that too in which cinemas this movie is available for today, right? And this information has to be real time, and is real time because it needs to show what are the seat availability. Now, for instance, you have selected the wrong cinema. There are quick replies. You can just say that I want to change cinema, go back and select other cinema. At any point of time, you can go back to main menu and see what other options you can explore. So this is the leverage. So there is the bot builder. So we call it DIY bot builder. So you or your team, your business team, your product team will able to build, design these workflows, bots by yourself.
So you mean to say I can build a bot even though I don't have a technical
absolutely,
knowledge as such?
Anand.
That's fantastic.
It's a completely codeless bot building platform.
Thank you.
All right. So now we'll see another example of agent assist bot. So this is the backend, or I would say admin side of Freshdesk, where your agents will be sitting and replying or talking to the customers. Here on the this page where your agents are interacting with your customer for your email queries or other platform queries, here we have the agent assist bot. While looking at this information, agent realized that as an agent, I don't have this information readily available in top of my head, but I want someone's assistance. That someone could be a human, but as we know, everyone is occupied with their own work. Now we have bot to assist all of your team or all of your strength for their enhanced experience to the customer. Now as an agent, I can select which category my issue belong to, for which issue this customer is reaching me out. Say this issue is regarding the email. Now bot will say that, okay, this is email. but what is troubleshooting regarding? Is it about incoming email, or is it about SendGrid logs outcoming emails? Now bot, basis on what agent selected, bot is presenting them the right articles. Now agent can use this article to give answer to the customers, or agent can just copy paste this article there for the customer's reference. And again, this feedback that you see here will help bot to understand was this helpful or not.
That's great. Thank you so much, Shubham. So, and I have a quick thing. So when we implemented for one of our customers, I believe it is Sling TV, was it? I'm not sure about that. But when we implemented, so do you think this has can you share your insights, or I'll put it this way, when you want to share your insights on how this benefited them, how their agents are actually benefiting this particular bot, and how the time to the first response time, they call it in the terms of customer service, has reduced, or how this improvement has come in?
Absolutely, Anand. So when we implemented, guys, this was Sling TV, what the problem we started was with there were close to 1,200 agents and catering more than 10,000 tickets or queries every day. And for this, there could be more than 300 type of queries for which customers could reach out. Now it's very, very hard for all the 1,200 agents to speak the same language as you would want as a business. And also it's very hard to remember all the steps or all the queries for which customer could reach to remember that by heart. So bot actually helped them to reduce the first response time by 43%, because they need not switch the tabs, they need not go to other solution pages to answer the customer with the help of bot. Other is the ramp up time for the new hires. As we know, the high attrition rate in this industry, the new hire ramp up time reduced by 35%, because everything is readily available with the bot, the agency's bot. And other fantastic thing that we have seen is the sanity in the language that you speak and the steps that you need to follow to solve the customer's problem. Before this, the problem was there were 5 steps or 6 steps that agents need to follow in order to solve the customer's query, but they were not following all those steps. Now bot is there to see that if agents are using all those steps to follow and to solve the customer's query. And other is, if they are missing out of any of the steps, everything will be logged there.
Oh, that's nice. That's fantastic. So I wanted to ask another quick question about what are the benefits that, as a business, you would like to see. Can we initiate a quick poll, Shubham?
Sure, Anand. Guys, we have initiated a poll. So basis on what we discussed so far, and we have seen a couple of use cases, what do you think that chatbot might be useful for you? Is it to assist the customers and answer the frequently asked questions, or increase the customer base? Increasing the customer base could be lead generation. For example, today agents take a lot of time in asking very, very normal questions like what is your name, email ID, phone number. And if I take example of one of our customers who is second cars and bike marketplace, agents used to ask that, hey, what type of car do you want, what make of car do you want, what model of car do you want. Now bot is asking all these questions and following all the procedures to make sure that no question is left unasked, so that the agents or the sales team get the right time to have more productive time to reach out to the customer rather than gathering this information.
Thanks, Shubham. I'll let another 10 more seconds for the poll to be open. and I've been looking at the responses from most of you. So what I can look at is you want to provide round the clock support, right? So round the clock support is pretty much essential in any part of business today. The customers comes back. Most of businesses deal with millennials, and they're most awake and productive at night. So I believe most of our businesses nowadays want to give around the clock support, and it's very we typically understand the problem, right? So it's very cost inefficient way of providing a human person sitting and providing security and all those things, but that's the place where bots can help. So I'm going to close the poll now, and we're going to talk more on this, but I'll not interrupt you, Shubham. So go on and enlighten us more about some of the use cases, perhaps.
Yeah. Thanks, Anand. Thanks, guys. So this information, we have seen that most of us, we want the round the clock support, and we want to answer the frequently asked questions. And we have seen that a couple of guys also want the bot to help on the sales side of it, right? That's why we have picked up two different use cases that are the real world use cases. So as a business, there are two sides to your product. One is the sales side, or I will say pre-sales. One is the post-sales once the product is sold. Yeah. And so when we talk about sales, bot can be proactive and personalized while reaching out to your customers. If you talk about any of your platform, bot can actually come and it can say that, hey, looks like you are looking for this product. Let me help you out. Do you want any assistance on that? Bot can also come and say, hey, these are the top key selling features of this particular product. Bot can also say, hey, why don't you leave out your number so that I can get back to you, or our experts can get back to you on this, right? Bot can also help you in end-to-end process, in end-to-end the sales process, ticket booking, gathering information, making reservations, or even placing an order. So bot will ask all this information. So how we are helping the customer is, one is customer are now moving towards the chat platform. Customer want a conversational experience. Customers are looking for someone who can guide them. So at every step, we are making use of some past information. Bot can say that, hey, looks like you have bought this 3 months back. Why don't you buy this along with this? So all this, the sales process can be automated with the help of bot. Coming to the support, once you have bought, once as a customer, you have bought some item, customer can come and ask, and quoting the same example, that, hey, I want to return my order. What can help with that? So there is no manual intervention is required to process this return request. If you have right system and APIs in place, we can trigger those automatically. That can be done. And on the other side, if you have some queries as a customer related to your product, and that is one of the most voted answer, uh, most voted questions, that, hey, I have this query, I want answer immediately. So your agents would take 5 to 10 minutes or half an hour to answer that. Bot will give the immediate response to that, and it will not even take your agent's bandwidth. Those are the real world use cases that will be solving for you, right? And these are the benefits of the chatbot. The proactive engagement. As soon as customer land on a website, bot will identify what is the nature of the customer. Customer is sitting idle on probably say a checkout page. Bot will come and say, hey, let me help you out with that. If customer has some query, customer will ask it to the bot, and bot will answer that. That is a deflection. So your agent need not necessarily answer that. And here comes the part where we say that bot will not be, or bot might not be able to answer all the queries. There will be certain touch points. And taking the same thing which Anand quoted earlier, taking the example of ATM machines. 20 years back when ATM came, we all thought that this will replace the tellers in the banks. And same thing holds true now. We are thinking that bot might replace the agents, but that's not the case. Bot will take some mandate jobs, but at some point, manual intervention will be required. There are many use cases where you would want your experts to take over, or where bot will not able to help the customer. We would want it to hand over to the agents. Here, bot can help a step further. Rather than transferring this to the agents directly, bot will understand the intent, bot will understand the nature of the query, bot will gather all the information, and with this all information, bot will intelligently route it to the right team. To which team? It needs to go to finance team, it has to go to some technical team, or it has to go to customer support team directly, or it has to go to sales team, or even digging deeper, bot can identify that if it is a support team, it's order team, it's order cancellation team, or return team, which team it has to be routed. So that intelligent routing can be done, right? And all this gives a seamless resolution.
All right. Thanks, Shubham. So one quick thing everybody has in mind, other than a lot of questions, which there is, what is the ROI and how do I measure the ROI of a chatbot, right? And a quick thing, what my team pointed out is there are a lot of questions which are coming in. And it's fantastic, guys. Keep it coming. I will just take another 5 more minutes and then answer all your questions as well. So on the ROI perspective, what are we looking at as a business, right? So what do we want to do with bots? Even if I implement it, where and how the ROI is it? How do I look at it from an investment perspective, right? So when I look at it, I would like to increase the revenue. How do I increase the revenue? So what Shubham just pointed out, not just in support, we can also do it in proactive customer engagement. If you can convert a potential person who's there on a website and show them options and make them as a potential as a customer rather than a prospect, or even convert them as a prospect, and that in turn translates into revenue, right? So there are a lot of business processes we all have as individual businesses. Say we have a lot of different teams within us. We have a lot of different processes which you have to follow from, if I'm a support agent, I have to respond to my customers in a certain fashion, and I have to follow a certain process before I respond to my customer. So all those things can be automated, and that's what Shubham just showed you about, in the agent assistance. And absolutely, the last point, all we know is reduce costs. Right. At the end of the day, all we look at from a business perspective is reducing costs. Yes, the customer experience is going to be wow because chatbots, the new thing in the market. The other thing is why chatbots will reduce is, I mentioned in the middle of our discussion about round the clock support. When you guys told me about round the clock support, it's being with the things which is going on in the market and people working at nights, different sort of benefits which is to be provided to them. So all those things can be avoided from a business perspective, and literally a lot of questions. What your agents can be more productive in your daytime. So they will be able to answer a lot of questions. They'll be able to answer they'll be able to answer the most important questions which are there for the business, and that's how you reduce your costs. And to throw you even more numbers, this is some of the numbers from our survey, how we measured effectiveness of the chatbot. 3 things we put it very simply. We'll keep it at 3 things. You might have seen, why am I keeping 3 things everywhere? Because 3 is not my favorite number, although, but it's very easy for us to remember 3 big things: coverage, accuracy, deflection. So when I look at coverage, is it able to answer all the user questions? We're very honest, no. 70% of the questions, yes. If it's repetitive, yes. If your 100% queries are repetitive, then I'd put it as a 100% number, but not all our business numbers are repetitive questions. There will be a lot of questions which the bot cannot answer. And the other thing is about accuracy, right? How many users find it useful? So this is a bit trickier part. Why I would say this is tricky is when I say the bot is going to get user input. and not all of us are going to give after each and every time you type it, whether the bot is not telling. So you as a user, you're not telling the bot this is helpful or not. Sometimes we look at, when we have time, we look at it and say, yes, this is helpful, and sometimes we don't do it. So we still have a 41% accuracy with that. And deflection, the number of questions the chatbot is able to answer without a human intervention. So this is purely done based on the NLP based bots, which is the natural language processing bots. So we are able to attain 28% of deflection in our numbers. Even the examples that Shubham showed, it's all real world examples. The one he showed on the support portal, that has trust me on this, we have a flurry of questions which is there in our support portal, and we are able to successfully deflect a lot of them with our bots. And even more numbers to you, the predictions for the chatbot. And one last number I'm going to throw at you is 25%. If you remember from my earlier slide, that is going to be the chatbot's market share. It's going to be at 2025, we're going to reach 25% of market share in chatbots alone. And just get on board the bandwagon, and we're going to take you through the ride of how chatbot is going to help you in your business. And before that, I want to tell you who we are. Most of you know us. Most of you who don't know who we are as a company, we started ourselves as a cloud entity, which churns out help desk software. That was way back 9 years before. And after that, we rebranded ourselves as Freshworks. We started as Freshdesk, and we rebranded ourselves as Freshworks. And we are funded by some of the biggest investment firms and the names which you can see in the industry. Capital G is nothing but Google Capital, Sequoia, Axel and Tiger. We have around 250 million in funding, and we are valued at 1.25 billion US dollars. We are increasing our global presence. We are right now present in 9 countries, UK to San Bruno's to Sydney down south. And with all this, what we have done is we have around 150K in businesses in across 120 different countries. And what you see on bottom is why we refreshed our name as from Freshdesk to Freshworks. We started with our flagship product, which is called as Freshdesk, and we eventually moved on to different products. And today we are newborn child is our chatbots. And Shubham is from one of the companies where we acquired for technology, was Joe Hookham, right? And to answer one of the most important questions, right? We have all different products. When you go into an integrated ecosystem, the bots can connect to not just your products. We are deeply integrated with almost all our products today. So you need not worry about when the bot is not answering, where does the ticket go? Where will you raise a ticket? I'll be able to raise a ticket in desk. Will you be able to raise, will that ticket be auto-assigned? Yes, we can auto-assign these tickets. To whom will this be auto-assigned? However you want to define your automations, we can do it. Will that be transferred to an engineer who is capable of answering a particular question? Yes, we do it. Do you have a live chat software? Yes, we do have live chat. So these are multiple suite of different products that we have from Freshworks, and all these products cater to different industry, to different things, right? From sales to support to HR to marketing. We have marketing, Fresh Marketer. There's a beautiful way where we do is we record the session, what is going on in your website, and then we'll be able to trigger a bot, and the bot will be able to answer what sort of a question, where the customer is doing, what you wanted to do it, and from there you can raise a ticket to in Freshdesk and Fresh Chat and thereon and therefore. Right. I'm going to initiate another quick poll, and it is going to be the last. And would you like to know more about the experience that Chatbot, where and how you wanted to do it? Do you want us to keep you informed, or do you want us to get in touch with you? Right. I'm going to run this poll for another 10 more seconds, and I'm going to questions. In the meantime, I'm going to run through all the questions which have come in, and just one moment. All right. So I'm going to start with a few questions. One is about Can chatbots pick up keywords and create tickets and assign accordingly? Shubham, do you want to take the question?
Yes.
I'll read through it so that you can
Sure.
answer the
Thanks,
question.
Yeah, so guys, we'll quickly answer the questions and we'll quickly give the answer that yes, bot can create a ticket and assign it accordingly. As we discussed, that it will do the routing based on the context or based on the keyword that you have asked. Anand.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Another question is, can you configure the bot to answer specific questions?
Yes, that's right. We can configure the bot to answer specific questions. Also, we can guide the bot or we can train the bot to follow certain steps to answer the question, or we can use the knowledge base if we already have.
Yes. And so you can configure an exact bot response. That's to read the entire part of the question. So
Yes.
Can you configure an exact response?
Yes, we can configure that.
So from what I understand here is you have just showed the front end of the bots. You have not showed how to configure the bots. And
Yes.
I believe that's what you want when we get in touch and you want to engage the customers. Or,
absolutely.
that,
So,
right?
so that's why I mentioned as well that it's a complete DIY bot builder. You can do absolutely and anything you want.
Fantastic. Do chatbots have a character limit?
No.
Right?
Yeah, that would.
All right. So there's a question, I believe I answered this question. Can the ticket be assigned to an experienced engineer, not for the moderate engineer? I think I answered this question. Yes, this can be assigned. There are different ways this can be assigned. So if it's coming to a live chat, you can use our Fresh Chat platform where it'll automatically, as Shubham just mentioned, intelligent routing will help. It'll answer into different platforms or what sort of a question. We can identify the question and then route it to different engineers. Yeah. Can the bots pick up keywords and create a ticket and assign us accordingly?
Yes, I think we've already answered it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So can the bot answer dynamic questions like what is the weather in Agra? Here the answer is dynamic.
Yeah, if you want to do that, then bot can answer. If you are a weather company, weather forecast company, yes, bot is meant to do that. But adding to this, these questions, these are the questions from normal chit chat where a customer will come and ask bot, hey, how are you? What's your name? Or what you can do? Can you tell me the weather? If you want bot to answer, bot can answer that. But as we, I'm sure you want to solve most of your business queries, not to help customers to visit Agra.
So which bot will be better for an inbound travel agency? I think this is too early for us to judge anything without looking deep into it. I think we'll get in touch with you. We'll look through, there are different ways different industries can benefit from it, but unless and until we're sure of what sort of place you want to put bots, I believe Shubham will also agree with me. It'll be too early if I have to give a judgment on that. Right, Shubham?
Yes, that's right, Anand.
All right. So how to feed inputs to the bot?
It's again the same thing. So if you have if you have used any other platform, it will be same as of that, where you will use some certain elements, some drag and drop elements, some click-based elements, and train the bot and feed the information in that.
Yeah, fantastic. Another interesting question. What other languages do you support other than English? Yes, we know you support English. So
yes, we support 36 languages. Whatever is in the Roman nomenclature, we support those languages. For the decision flow based bot, we support those languages. For the NLP based bot, we support English currently. We are already doing POC, that is in development stage. French and German and Dutch, these three are the next languages which we can expect in next couple of quarters to come in.
Right. Thank you for that, Shubham. So how compliant is Chatbot with GDPR? We as a company, I believe, Shubham, is going to be GDPR compliant. So all our products, not just chatbots, all the products which I just showed you is all GDPR compliant from that perspective. So is Chatbot capable of getting user information from pre-saved data? This is my phone number. Can you please give me my license? So, Shubham, the question is about, I'll read the question again. So,
Yeah.
Is the chatbot capable of getting user information from pre-saved data?
Yes, Chatbot will able to do that. So if bot has asked this information once, bot will not ask this again. Also, if user is already logged into your website or your any app, bot will able to auto detect that information.
Okay. So, in ROI section, you put a measure called deflection. What does this it mean on deflection? All right. So Shubham, I'll take this question anyways, because on the numbers and slides, anyway, I know you would deflect it to me. So what do we mean by deflection is, if any question, any user who's coming and interacting with the bot has come, interacted, and is happy with the bot and left us is. So that's what we call as a deflection. The reason here is, if the customer is happy enough and he has got the answers which he wanted, he has not raised a ticket, which, if in the case where you don't have a bot, you would be that will be translated into a question or a chat or a email message or a phone call, right? So when the bot's there, that is going to answer it, and that's what we have deflected it from the agent. That's what is called as a deflection.
Anand, we have another question. Can we push notification to the customer the bot has already interacted with? Yeah, so if customer has interacted with the bot, say today on your website, tomorrow if customer come again, bot can personalize the response based on interaction that, hey, we had this communication yesterday, was I able to help you, or we can have even personalized response as well. Yes, if customers come on the website again, then yes, bot can give a personalized notification to the customer.
All right, fantastic. So I believe we are running out of time. We just have 3 more minutes. And if there are any more questions, please do send us your questions. We're happy to answer those over email. And you can find us on LinkedIn as well. Please feel free to connect with us, and we'll get started. And thank you so much. Overall, you have been a fantastic audience today, and thank you, Shubham. And it's been quite a pleasure talking with all of you. And I hope still the questions are coming in. I believe, I'm really sorry, we will not be able to take the questions. We will take this question and we'll answer it offline. That's what we're going to say that to you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.